tonight, guys. Ours aren't working.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks.
Questions?
Jason, there was a lot of anticipation for this match, and I would think that it lived up to yours and everyone else's expectations.
Yeah, I mean, the atmosphere, hats off to the fans tonight, getting there early, being there right from the kickoff, singing together. It was a special night for sure, and that's what I told the players mainly before the game, that what a great crowd we had there tonight, the passionate crowd we had there tonight, and I wanted to give them what they deserved, and that was our best. And I think that the guys put a pretty solid effort out there tonight, and obviously very pleased to walk away with the 3 points.
Jason, can you talk a little bit about the contribution you're getting from some guys who are young, new with the team, maybe second string players like Schuler, the type of they're stepping up and playing well in key moments.
I'm hesitant to answer that question because you said second string players, and that makes me really mad. We don't have second string players. We have players, and I think that yes, contributions this year. The three or four that stick out in my mind are guys that have been with us for a while. Chris has been with us now. This is his third year, but he's making a huge contribution at the moment. Paulo, who isn't on the scoreboard yet this year, is just doing everything that's asked. The amount of defensive work he's putting in is fantastic. So, and I think he should feel very unfortunate that he didn't get that penalty kick call. I'm very pleased with him. A guy like Ned Grabavoy, who's been in a rotation for the past several years for his position, is really carrying the responsibility of not having somebody right behind him pushing him. He's carrying that very, very well. Tony Beltran, I think, has stepped forward now in 2 games. And again, another guy that has been involved in a very fluid rotation, who knows that this year that we're going to need more. And so guys like that, I think, are stepping forward in a big way. And then the mainstays out there, the guys that have been here for a while and part of our core group, they're all playing very well also. But I do think it needs to be said that we need to continue to improve, because tonight was certainly nowhere near perfect. The effort was great, but in the second half there I really felt we should have been scoring. And it would have made things very, very difficult over the last 10 minutes. So lots of areas for improvement still.
So did you say you felt like you should have been scored on?
Absolutely, we should have been scored on.
Jason, just wondering your thoughts on Fabian. Scored the opening goal tonight, but he seems to have picked up right where he left off last year. Very active out there.
Yeah, he has. I thought tonight he was probably a little less active than he was last week. I thought there was some spaces really for both of our forwards to exploit. I don't think they were doing quite as good a job as we did last week with their movement. But then Fabian to put in the 90 minutes of effort and then to move to the right side of midfield for us at the end of the game, that's a big sacrifice and a big commitment for a guy that runs as much as he does. And he did it for us willingly, and I'm appreciative of that.
Jason, what do you feel like you guys did right on defense, and what do you feel like you need to improve on?
I still think that we need to continue to improve on the number of players we're getting forward involved in our attacks. We're some nice fluid movements to get the balls up to the forwards, and then we need more players than just Luis Gill, and he was oftentimes late in his running to support the forwards. We need to have 2, 3 midfielders, always an outside back. Typically we weren't involved in. So our numbers going forward, I think, still needs to improve. Obviously, defensively, we're happy that we got the 0, but I do think that there's still quite a few things to talk about in that game, because I really do honestly feel they should have scored a goal against us.
Jason, you've kind of talked on some of the edges of this, but you talked about not wanting to focus so much on results and more about the performance. Mm-hmm. How would you grade that overall tonight?
I'd say B. Yeah, B, maybe even more down to a B minus. Again, as I said, I mean, that's to be expected. I think some problems are still just in talking to the guys quickly before they came here, they're feeling like they're probably not 90 minutes fit yet. So it is only the second game of the year, and they only played 90 minutes once in the preseason. So I do think that that's obviously an area that we're going to need to emphasize going forward.
Can you talk about the decision to start Beltran? We know we've been
Yeah,
hurting.
yeah, he wasn't going to start. Yesterday, we had decided that we were going to not take the risk, and we were going to rest him, and we were going to play Tadakatsu Tanaka. And then he came in yesterday and went to the doctor's office and registered 104 fever. So we pretty much scratched that idea and had to get back with Tony and said, you know, can you go? And Tony was of the opinion yesterday that he could go. I was making a very safe decision not to have him start. So it was good to have that feedback from him yesterday, and just told him yesterday afternoon there was a good chance that we'd be back in the starting lineup. So hats off to him. I thought he was a little rusty at the beginning of the game. In the first half, he made some poor errors with the ball. But in the second half, he made a big improvement, and I thought it was very, very solid for us.
Jason, with so many new faces getting minutes on the pitch this season, how do you feel your chemistry is at this point? Is it where you want it to be at this point?
It's good. It's really good, and I think it brings up an interesting situation because now we've got 2 wins in a row. We've got some players coming back from injury that usually would expect to start. It will make difficult choices for the coaching staff.
Anything else, guys? Michael?
Jason, you've mentioned some of the guys who might be coming back. Will and Nat, will they be in consideration?
I don't know. Will won't be. Nat might be.
Okay, locker room's open.